Hello YouTube, this is Ron, ExJW, Jehovah's Witness, coming to you out of Central Texas. First off, I want to say thank you again for all the love and support you guys have sent my way, all those encouraging comments. This is my fourth entry into my vlog on YouTube. And I'm still working out the bugs of being nervous, so bear with me, but it's much appreciated the fact that you guys are subscribing, seeing what I have to say, respecting it, and adding your entries in regards to comments to what you're getting from it, so much appreciated. Today I'm going to discuss something that is near and dear to a lot of ex-witnesses and current witnesses, regardless if you know it or not. There's a term called arrested development. Arrested development is when you should have developed social skills, emotional skills, not physically, but emotional, financial, sociological. Those different things are things that should have come natural as you developed from a child to a young man or woman, but in our upbringing in the organization that we were a part of for the majority of our lives, especially if you were raised around this organization, your developmental skills can be suppressed, and it can affect you greatly in the realm of dating. So that's what I'm going to be discussing. And I'm pretty sure that as I go along, a lot of you will be able to relate to what I'm going to say, especially the sisters. So how are we suppressed? Let's see. A lot of us are homeschooled. I wasn't homeschooled myself. I had the blessing of going to a public school. Wasn't the best school, but at least I got to be around people my age and fellowship with them. There's a lot of things I didn't get to do. I'm not bitter or upset about those things, but school wasn't as difficult for me as it could be for a lot of kids, because I was, tallest the teacher when I started school just about. So I didn't get a lot of the bullying that a lot of kids get. But it definitely was awkward at times because of the holiday situation. In regards to what you're taught from the platform now, how can that suppress your development? Let's see. Subliminally, you were taught not to put in as much effort to, even though you will excel because you've learned how to read and write at an early age, generally way earlier than your peers and your contemporaries, you are going to excel in that regard. But as far as, let me go ahead and put these applications into different universities and pursue a career in secondary education. Generally, we all know that even though they might not come out and say that they don't want you to go to secondary education and go get your bachelor's, your associate's, your bachelor's, or your PhD, even though you may be qualified to do that, even though you might have the intellect to be able to pursue those things, you're taught that the best thing for you to do would be able to go to a trade school or find you a position where you can make yourself more available to the ministry, to put more hours into pushing publications for free. Actually, not even for free, because you are not only pushing those publications, you're doing it on your own dime. You're not there's not someone giving you a stipend for gas or food or, the reduced hours you're going to get at a part-time job. So those things can inhibit you in regards to how you'll deal with life later on. And let me explain. Say you are 17, 18, 19 years old. You've actually did good on your PSAT, your SAT, and your ACT, and excelled. Where a lot of your classmates are putting in applications to different universities, you are thinking about, auxiliary pioneering during the summer, possibly regular pioneering at a early age to impress the older ones, becoming a ministerial servant, and eventually becoming a Bethelite if you're a male and also with the long-term goal of becoming an elder or even a missionary for your sister. So that kind of retards your growth because you will not have the avenues that a lot of your peers will have. Now, I said that this video would be particularly interesting to the sisters. Okay, this is why. A lot of brothers will run into sisters who they are interested in, who they might meet them out in ministry, might meet them at a gathering / party, and they might see this sister as spiritually attractive, physically attractive, emotionally balanced, articulate, a good wife potential, someone who can, that they can see themselves with further on in life. And you might be wondering, why am I saying a 17, 18, and 19-year-old might be looking at a marriage mate, where in the general population, most people aren't looking at someone as marriage potential at that age. You might be thinking about dating, but as far as marrying somebody at 16, 17, 18, 19 years old, most people are thinking about how am I going to move forward in regards to school. And I might date someone to see what kind of person I like, but as far as marrying them, no. With witnesses, that's not the case. With witnesses, you're encouraged, if you're dating after going through high school without having the release of masturbation or whatever you want to call it, self-pleasing, you have someone who's sitting on a powder keg of emotions and hormones and pheromones who is thinking, I need to get married to release this pressure. Not everybody does that, but a lot of people do. And it's discouraged to simply date to just date. You're encouraged to date to marry. So that puts a lot of brothers in a precarious situation. How so? Now imagine you've been encouraged to keep it simple, to go to a trade school if possible, or get a job as a window cleaner or, side mechanic or janitor or something. Get you a little business or something. And possibly some brothers and sisters are blessed with the fact that they have family that has monetary funds or whatever, but for the majority, that's not the case. So you'll find these brothers and sisters, especially the brothers, who know that internally they're not equipped to pursue sisters to the extent of marriage because they know that they can't support themselves, let alone another sister. They're still living with their parents. So what you'll find is this. You'll have brothers who engage with a sister, not get engaged, but have good conversations with them, might go out in ministry with them, go out to eat with them, chaperone with other friends to bowling alleys or basketball games, whatever. They go and hang out and they have a good time. They might go on ski trips, depending on somebody puts a group together. And they like the person. They like the individual. They want to get to know her and they want to pursue her. And the sister might actually like them back. It might be a mutual attraction. So what will this brother do? Because he does not want to get married yet because he knows that he's not equipped for it. Not that he doesn't like the sister particularly, but he knows that he doesn't want to shack up with her parents later on because all of us know of brothers and sisters who got married too young and weren't ready for it and they ended up moving in with their grandparents, or they never even moved out. They moved straight from the wife comes to move with the husband and his parents, or the husband goes to move in with his in-laws, whatever. We all know those cases, and we all know that sometimes every once in a while they work out fine, but a lot of them end up getting divorced early. And say this young brother has seen that pattern, he follows algorithms, and he knows that he doesn't want to do that. I'll tell you what a lot of brothers do, because I've had this conversation more than once. They will sabotage the relationship. You may have suspected that that's happened with you. I'm telling you that it does happen. And it's not just a U.S. thing. I have a strong suspicion because I've talked to brothers from other lands. They will sabotage the relationship. They will have someone who's ideal for a marriage candidate. They'll have someone who they like, someone that they can even get to the point of being in love with them, but they know that they're not ready for it, and they're doing what's the responsible thing to do, but they won't let the sister know why they're really breaking up with them, and that's where that's kind of a bad thing, because that sister might walk away from that wondering what she did. But I've seen brothers ignore sisters intentionally, nitpick them, find one thing that they don't like about them, magnify that, and get out of that relationship so that they can walk away with it with a quote-unquote semi-clean conscience, that they didn't bankrupt this sister financially, emotionally, spiritually, and drag her down because they knew that they weren't ready to get married. My fault, honestly, is not with that brother, though. My fault is with the organization that pushes the agenda of putting their publications out and promoting their website to the full, to where you're doing it for free and your payback is the carrot of a paradise that by all standards should have occurred already, until they changed and made the new light where we're dealing with multiple generations now. When you wake up to that and figure out what's really going on with this organization, it can be very upsetting. I've gone through it, so I know. Wow. I'm just thinking about all the people I know who didn't, dump the person or sabotage the relationship and went on and got married anyway. And I can't remember any that made it past the 10-year mark of staying in that marriage because they weren't equipped for it financially, emotionally, spiritually, socially, because you're in a group that's a control group, a high control group. And a lot of these husbands marry these sisters with the mindset that I have to micromanage everything she does because they're getting micromanaged. Imagine this. Think about it. I made a video yesterday about beards, about facial hair. The brother knows that the Bible doesn't support him getting facial hair. It doesn't support him having to take facial hair off of him, but he still has to work in those parameters to be acceptable in the congregation. That is something that subliminally can mess with you. It can mess with your psyche. It can mess with your manhood. And a lot of times these brothers will take that out on their spouse. So I'm bringing all this up because when you think about it on a deeper level, the organization we belong to, that we've given our lives to, the organization that a lot of us worshiped subliminally and didn't even know it, has a lot to answer for. If you still believe in God, which I do, this organization has a lot to answer for because they are literally screwing people over. They are making people's lives miserable. And it's a lot of different things that you can fall prey to in regards to even your physical health. There's sisters walking around with lupus and fibromyalgia because they are being suppressed from being the person that they actually are because of the way this organization dictates that marriages should be. Even though we say that we're equal, even though we say that both have equal say, I definitely believe in the headship role, but the way I've seen a lot of my contemporaries as far as spiritual brothers handle their spouses, and when I say that, and I use the word handle on purpose, it can be definitely discouraging and upsetting to our witness. I'm not going to say in regards to physically putting their hands on their wives, but the emotional abuse that I've seen sisters go through is alarming. So that's another thing that, again, like I said, this organization has caused in the name of God. So you do the math, you think about it. Feel free to share your comments and your thoughts and your experiences. Maybe you've been dumped and you thought the brother just left because he's a prick. I'm giving you the insight that might not just be the case. It might be a little more complex than that. Maybe you're a brother who but you chose to go that route and get rid of a sister that you were pretty much wanting to marry or very attracted to, and you knew that it wouldn't go anywhere because you wasn't ready because of keeping it simple. Feel free to share those comments. Again, this is ExJW / Jehovah's Witness. No more middlemen for me because that's exactly what I don't have anymore. I do not have anybody between me and my father's relationship. So, y'all have a good afternoon. Look forward to your comments. Peace.